Hi guys. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I am a night shift worker. I'm a pediatric ER nurse, but I have to go ahead and tell you, I'm a little sleep deprived. I didn't really sleep very much last night. I was kind of trying to prepare a speech, and I kept trying to start, but it kept going with, "Hi, my name is Kelly Duckworth, and I'm a cancer survivor." And while that's really awesome, and it's fantastic, I felt like a 3 a.m. infomercial, like, "Hi, I'm Kelly Duckworth, and I really enjoy shopping at Costco way too much," or "I am addicted to chocolate," or whatever, whatever your thing is, and there goes all of it. Oh, thank you. So bear with me because this is sort of being done on the fly this morning. My husband is somewhere, or should be somewhere in this audience, and my son as well. I never really have a problem talking to people. In fact, I talk an awful lot. And I've shared my story of my cancer and my survival with a lot of people, but I honestly can say that I haven't ever really stood with a microphone in hand and talked to people about it. So please bear with me and pretend that I'm awesome and clap a lot, and that'll make me feel so much better. Thank you. My husband, if he does show up or is somewhere, he can be identified by the guy who is totally stressed out by all of this, the public speaking, and he's got his nails chewed into little nubs somewhere. So, in any case, I'm going to do what I started with. My name is Kelly Duckworth. I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for all of us. I look out on this whole crowd and I thought that I would actually feel really a lot of stage fright and intimidated and scared, and it's actually, I'm a little surprised it's sort of the opposite. I feel really enamored and in awe of all of you women and men who have been through this whole journey, and it's quite a journey. And I want to say thank you all for being here. It's just amazing. When Cindy asked me to speak, I kind of thought, well, what do I have to share with people? And again, until this morning, I really didn't know, and I'm not sure I still know, but I thought I should just do what I was asked to do, and which kind of came across as I was telling my 11-year-old son to please brush his teeth this morning. And it's hard to brush your teeth and play Minecraft at the same time, I will give him that. But I asked him to do a job, I was asked to do something, and so I'm going to do it. Before I start, I want you to know that the support system that I have had throughout my journey has been unbelievable. I work with a team of ER nurses and doctors and techs and just staff that have just been amazingly supportive of me. My best friend Cindy and her son Elliot, my son Mason, my husband Tim, they have been the lights of my life, and if you don't have a support system, please find one. Please, really. It's so amazing. Also, please know that, as was said, the monies that are raised from this event, they all come back right here to the community. How awesome is that? That the people right here, us, all of us, are being touched with all of the money that is coming in to this actual event. So, here's my story. My story doesn't actually start with my cancer diagnosis. My story starts about 11 and a half or 11 and some years ago, a little bit before my son was born. I told you that I'm married now. My husband, wonderful husband Tim, wonderful, but I don't know where he is. But I was married before that. His name was actually Barry White. He was a white guy. He couldn't dance or sing, I promise. In any case, we were both flight nurses at the time, and unfortunately he was killed in a plane crash when I was 37 weeks pregnant. It was quite a shock to receive that news, and I had to learn how to do all kinds of things that I had never done before. Change the oil in the car, do regular home maintenance. We almost froze to death because I didn't know that you had to get the propane filled in order to heat the house. Just a lot of little things like that. About 6 years later, I met my current husband. We got married. He legally adopted our son. But the third day of our honeymoon, we were in Costa Rica, and I fell very, very hard and had a major, major head injury that put me out of work for about 3 months. And right after that, I went through 2 very difficult emotionally and physically, miscarriages. And if you think that people don't talk about breast cancer much, people don't talk about miscarriages much either. And those are two topics that don't need to be taboo. They happen to women. It affects the men as well, and we need to start talking about those things a little more. I'm also a lot of other things aside from being a breast cancer survivor. I'm a mom. I'm a husband. I'm sorry. I'm not a husband. I swear. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I am a pediatric ER nurse. I may or may not be a public speaker. I'm not sure. I'm a lot sarcastic and silly. It goes with the red hair. Don't blame me. I feel like after chemo, I grew this crazy hair. It's like Ronald McDonald's evil twin sister. I don't know what to do with it. The thing is, though, is that even as a nurse, no matter how much medical research has advanced, and it's advanced a lot, let's be honest, even as a nurse, I really have to put a lot of my faith, and I really focus on maintaining a positive attitude and a sense of humor and a support system, because those are the things that got me through. I don't want to say that my chemo and my radiation and a long stay in the ICU and surgeries, I don't want to say that those things didn't get me through, but if I didn't have the silly and positive sense of humor that I do, I'm not sure that I wouldn't have just curled up in a little ball. My family, my son helped me through that a lot. We did a lot of silly things when I went bald. We'd put shaving cream on my head, and he would throw those little orange cheese puffs at my head to see how many he could get to stick. True story. Really embarrassing. Also, when you have chemo, you lose a lot of hair, including, nobody thinks about it. They all think about you're bald, but you also lose your eyebrows, and let's be honest, people with no eyebrows, they're freaky looking, okay? They are. And I was freaky looking. So we decided to have some fun with it. So I would let my son take, like an eyeliner or an eyebrow pencil and draw, new eyebrows on me every day right before my husband came home from work. So some days my husband would come home from work and I would be, surprised, Mommy. And some days my husband would come home from work and I would be a very, very angry mommy. So it all kind of depended on, what he felt like doing. It was a lot of fun. Thank goodness that things are washable. Let's see. I know that there's more that I want to say, but I have to change pages. I want to go back a couple of years when I first became a widow. A couple of crazy things happened. I delivered my son 20 days later. I had a support system, but essentially when you have a baby, you're doing it by yourself. Nobody else is doing it for you. And I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I could actually have a child and raise him to be a very intelligent and polite young man that I'm very, very proud of. I learned that I could do a lot of things for myself, and I learned that I still had enough love in me to learn to love someone else. Now, I don't want to make it all flowery or even cherry blossomy. There were a lot of rough days. There were a lot of days when I curled up on the floor in a little ball and I cried. And so what I can say about that basically is get yourself some Puffs Plus, the Kleenex with the lotion in them, because they go a long way. Have a glass of wine or a glass of water or whatever you have with a friend and figure out a way to laugh. I clearly remember one of the days sitting on the floor before my son was born, sitting Indian style with my belly out to maybe there, being polite to myself. And my mom was there with me, and I kept saying, I swear I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to go nuts. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go nuts. That was my phrase. I'm going to go nuts. Oddly enough, a card came in the mail that day, and I opened it up, and I don't honestly remember who the card was from, but the message inside that was, kind of pre-inscribed by whoever, Hallmark, whoever, actually said, just remember, the mightiest oak tree was once just a nut that held its ground. And that mantra stuck with me. And every time I go through something difficult in my life, I just tell myself, you might feel like you're going nuts right now. Be that mighty oak. You can do it. And I want to share that with you guys, even if it only helps one person. Stay strong, be that mighty oak. So you've heard most of my story, most of it. I mean, I did do the typical chemo and radiation and surgery and all that good stuff, but no one's actually heard how my story ends. Anybody want to know how my story ends? Anyone? Yeah? I don't know. Any psychics out there? It would be awesome. I think every cancer patient and practically every patient in the world really wants to know, or every person in the world really wants to know how their story ends. And I myself don't know how my story ends, but I can tell you one thing. I'm going to do everything in my power to stay healthy. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to exercise. And I'm going to stay in close contact with my friends, my family, my support system, and even all of you that I'm meeting here today. And I've met some amazing people just in the few minutes that I've been here. And so, as a result, I am hoping that my story is going to read, and they all lived happily